Hi. When we celebrate our new year on 1st of January, so January is the month on which we start our calendar year. Do you know that on the month of April we start our financial year? So, apart from this, the financial year and the calendar year, there is another month which is the beginning of the apex institute or the apex body of all the monetary system in our country. Yes, we are talking of the Central Bank of India, that is the Reserve Bank of India. Hi, I am Amita Patra, Head of the Department, Master of Commerce, Finance and Control of Udayanath Autonomous College of Science and Technology, and today in the YouTube channel of our, that is UN College Digital Classes, I am going to give you some more insight into the topic, that is the Reserve Bank of India. So, today we will be learning about the Central Bank of India, that is Reserve Bank. So, first we will start with the history of the Reserve Bank. The origin of the Reserve Bank of India can be traced to 1926, when the Royal Commission on India Currency and Finance, also known as the Hilton-Young Commission, recommended the creation of a central bank for India to separate the control of currency and credit from the government and to augment banking facilities throughout the country. So, if we will look into the history of the Reserve Bank of India, it is traced back to 1926. So, to be clear that in the year 1919, actually in India many private banks popped up, and those private banks, they are operating in their own agendas, rules and regulations. So, there are a lot of discoordination, or we can say that there is no parameter or there is no control, or there is no one who is monitoring these private banks. So, they are freely doing according to their own, they are operating according to their own rules and regulations, which is a bit indisciplined and it feels very awkward. So, and we know that by that time India is under the rule of the East India Company, and in 1920 the East India Company thought of regulating all these private banks, and for that he recommended in 1920 he select a commission that is very famously known as the Hilton Commission, or also we also say that commission as the Royal Commission. We also say that commission as Royal Commission. So, that Royal Commission that was and that was formulated in 1920, this commission gives its report in 1926, which suggests for a formation of a central bank in India, and like that the inception of the Reserve Bank of India or the Central Bank of India come into form. The Reserve Bank of India was established on 1st of April 1935 in accordance with the provision of the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. After the Commission's report in 1926, there was Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. So, in that act there are various sections which put forward that how the central bank should be formed, what are the provisions should be there, what is the premises. So, various sections has been put forward in this act for the formation of the Central Bank of India, and in 1st April 1935 the Reserve Bank of India comes to its form. So, now we will have a quick look on the main sections of the RBI Act 1934, which brings the Reserve Bank of India. So, these are the various sections. The sections 3 says that it deals with the establishment and incorporation of the Reserve Bank of India. So, according to the section 3, the Reserve Bank of India has been established. Section 6 says that the section C deals with establishment of offices, branches and agencies of Reserve Bank of India. So, according to the section 6, it is giving forward about the other establishments, or we can say it deals with the establishments of the RBI. Section 8 talks about the composition of the central board of Reserve Bank of India, and the central board is the one, or it is the board which is going to operate the Reserve Bank of India. In section 17, it specifies the business that the Reserve Bank can carry out. So, section 17 is putting forward about the businesses that the RBI can carry out. And in section 21, the Reserve Bank has the right to transact government business in India. In section 21, under this section, the Reserve Bank has the right to transact government business in India, and that is why also we sometimes say Reserve Bank of India as the government's bank, because it is the one who is the representative of the government, or it is the bank who is representing the government dealings. And in section 21A also the bank has the right to transact government business of states on agreement. Apart from that, there are other sections which are important, that is section 22, and in this section ascertains the right of the Reserve Bank to issue bank notes. We know that the Reserve Bank is the bank, or it is the Bank of India which has the whole and sole authority of issuing notes. So, this section 22 is putting forward this right of Reserve Bank of India. In section 24 specifies that the bank can issue notes with denominational values of 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 500, 1000, 5000 and 10,000 rupees, or of other denominational values not exceeding 10,000 rupees. So, this is the section which is put forward in the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934. In section 27, for the reissue of notes, this section says that the bank shall not reissue bank notes which are torn, defaced or excessively spoiled. So, there is the provision of reissuing of notes, and there is some constraints for reissuing of notes which has been specified in this section, that is section 27. In section 26(1), the section defines legal tender of notes. So, section 26(1) is defining the legal tender of notes, and the first schedule of the Reserve Bank of India Act 1934 defines the 4 areas under which the Indian state should come. The 4 areas are North area, South area, West area and Eastern area. And the second schedule of the Act lists all the scheduled bank in India. So, in the first schedule of Reserve Bank of India Act, it is defining the 4 areas of India that should come, and it is specifying the 4 directions, or the 4 areas, it dividing the India into 4 different areas like the eastern, western, northern and southern areas. And in the second schedule of RBI Act, all the other banks are coming under that schedule, that schedule 2 of the Reserve Bank of India. So, like that, the RBI Act 1934 have put forward various rules and regulations according to which the Reserve Bank was established in the 1st April 1935. So, when the Reserve Bank of India was started in 1935, then at that time it was established in Calcutta, and the central office is also at Calcutta. But in 1937, that is just after 2 years of its origin, or after 2 years of its establishment, the central office of Reserve Bank of India is permanently moved to Mumbai, and since then till date Mumbai is the central office of Reserve Bank of India. And the central office is what? Central office is where the governor sits and where policies are formulated. So, central office we can say that is the head office, or that is the headquarter where the apex authority or the top authority of the Reserve Bank of India, that is the Governor of Reserve Bank of India sits, and that is the place or that is the office where all the policies have been formulated. And as we know that the Reserve Bank of India was incorporated or it was established in 1935. So, as we know that the Reserve Bank of India was established in 1935, by that time it is a privately owned bank which is formulated by the East India Company to keep a regulation or keep a track or to monitor the other private banks, and it was started with an initial capital of 5 crore rupees. So, by that time it is a privately owned bank. But after the independence, when we get independence and we get our freedom from the East India Company and we have our own constituents and we are now a free state, in 1st January 1949, the Reserve Bank of India is also get nationalized. So, the originally privately owned, since nationalized in 1949, the Reserve Bank is fully owned by the Government of India. So, after it is nationalized in 1949, it is fully owned by the Government of India. And the first governor of RBI was Sri Osborne Smith, and the first Indian governor of RBI was C.D. Deshmukh. So, this is at the time of its inception or at the time of its establishment, as we are under the British rule. So, the first governor at that time was Sri Osborne Smith, which is non-Indian, and the first Indian governor, if you will talk of, then he is C.D. Deshmukh. And the first woman deputy governor, if we will talk of RBI, then she was K.J. Sudeshi. She is the first woman deputy governor of Reserve Bank of India. And if we will see that the only Prime Minister of India who had been the governor of Reserve Bank of India, he is Manmohan Singh, and currently the governor of Reserve Bank of India is Sri Shaktikant Das. So, as we are talking at the beginning that we have a calendar year which starts from the January, and we have a financial year that starts from April. Now, this RBI is an exception which starts not in the calendar month starting, that is January, neither it starts with the financial year starting, that is April. It starts from July and it ends in June. So, that is a very interesting fact about Reserve Bank of India. Next, we will see the preamble of Reserve Bank of India, and it describes the basic functions of the Reserve Bank, and it says that to regulate the issue of banknotes and keeping of reserves to secure monetary stability in India, and generally to operate the currency and credit system of the country to its advantage. So, this is what the preamble of Reserve Bank of India was written at the time of its establishment, and its preamble is describing the basic functions of the bank. Next, let us have a look on the logo of the Reserve Bank of India. And if you know that this is the logo of the Reserve Bank of India, in which the Reserve Bank of India is been inscripted with a palm tree and a tiger. This logo has its development, or we can say its establishment, on the basis of the East India Company's double mohr. This is what you can see, this is the double mohr of East India Company, and from there this was conceptualized, the logo of the Reserve Bank of India. Now, what this logo has, the hidden message behind it is that the palm tree is actually symbolizing the economic growth, and the tiger is the symbol of strength. So, a strong and healthy economic growth is the symbol or is the is the emblem that the logo of RBI of India has in it. Now, we will go to the organizational structure of RBI. So, what is RBI, how the RBI is formed, or what is the structural framework of RBI, and what and how it operates. If we look into that, the main managing authority of the bank is the Central Board of Directors. So, the Central Board of Directors are the main managing authority of the Reserve Bank of India, and it consists of 21 members. So, in the Central Board of Directors there are 21 members, and they contain the governor, 4 deputy governors, 14 directors and 2 government officials, out of which the governor and the deputy governor are been appointed by the government. The governor is appointed for a tenure of 5 years. The tenure of the governor is for 5 years, and he is been appointed by the government of India or by the central government. And currently we have Saktikant Das, who is an Udia, to be noted, and he is the current governor of RBI, and there are other 4 deputy governors. 4 deputy governors are selected for the tenure of 4 years. So, these 21 members are constituting the Central Board of Directors, and they are the one who are going to operate the Reserve Bank of India, or they are the essential part of the Reserve Bank of India, who is going to manage every dealing of Reserve Bank of India. Among these, the governor and the deputy governor are appointed by the central government for a maximum period of 5 years, and the 14 directors, 4 of which are nominated from each of the 4 local boards in accordance with the RBI Act for a period of maximum 4 years, but can be re-elected. So, they are selected or they are elected for 4 years, but there is higher possibility or chances that they get re-elected also. And the RBI also consists of local boards responsible for foreign specific control and monitoring, and these are divided into 4 parts: northern, southern, eastern and western, and they have the headquarters in New Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata and Mumbai respectively, and these local boards consist of 5 members with a chairman. In the 4 parts of India, we have 4 headquarters, and they are situated in New Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata and Mumbai, and in these local boards there are 5 members. There is a head, we know as the chairman of the board. So, apart from this Central Board of Directors, the bank also has other operating staffs. So, the other operating staffs are the executive governors, the principal chief general managers, general managers, deputy general managers, assistant general managers, assistant managers and support staff. So, this is the hierarchy of the operating staff of the Reserve Bank of India, which work apart from the Central Board of Directors. So, on the basis of that, if we will talk of the zonal offices, the RBI has 4 zonal offices: New Delhi for north, Chennai for south, Kolkata for east and Mumbai for west. And the Reserve Bank of India has 19 regional offices and 11 sub offices at present. The bank has 3 training colleges for its officers, that are the Bankers Training College at Bombay, the College of Agricultural Banking at Pune and the Reserve Bank Staff College, Madras. So, this is what the Reserve Bank of India is, how we have discussed that how it comes to its establishment, what provoked to the establishment of Reserve Bank of India, what is the preamble of Reserve Bank of India, what are the structure of the Reserve Bank of India, how it operates, what are the members, how they are selected and what is the tenure of them, and also we talk of the zonal offices, and also we have a look on the logo of the Reserve Bank of India. And here the thing that we have started with, that the calendar year we are starting with the month of January, and the financial year we have started with the month of April, and the year of Reserve Bank of India we start with the month of July. Apart from this fact, we have some other interesting fact on the Reserve Bank of India. That is, as we all know that the Reserve Bank of India is taking care of issuing the paper notes or the currency. But you must know that all the coins that we are dealing with or that is floating in the Indian financial market and the 1 rupee paper note, this is all are not issued by the Reserve Bank of India, rather these are all issued by the Ministry of Finance. So, this is an interesting fact that is there about the Reserve Bank of India, and we are going to learn various other interesting facts, and we are going to discuss in detail various other things on the Reserve Bank of India in our forthcoming classes. Thank you.